that does direct services and gives back to the community and connects folks to opportunities for personal growth and development. On BIGO, I host Let's Talk About It Tuesdays, where we talk about trans issues and intersectionality, from blackness, queerness, and all those things that affect us daily, including current events. And also, I have a show called The Poly Life that I co-host with my one of my partners, Queen, right here every other Saturday. So let's get excited.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Come on, number two. I love the makeup. I love the look, the shadow. It's giving off transgender day of visibility. Represent, represent.
hmm Hey, everybody. My name is Talia Cassinine. I am the founder of Say No to Silicone Injections, which is an organization slash campaign that I created a couple years back after my issues with silicone injections. So that was created to help trans individuals to transition the safe way and the healthy way without the use of black market procedures. That campaign was afforded the ability to give scholarships out to trans individuals so that they can pay for those type of procedures without having to do it the wrong way and have to go through the things that I've gone through in life. If y'all want to know more about that, you can easily just Google search my name, Talia Castanine. In the White Hats family, I must say that since we are on Bigo, an up and coming new family with Mother Kitty, another woman of trans experience, which is a powerhouse woman on this app. Let's make sure that we show her some love. I'm also a makeup artist. I try to bridge the gap between communities with the trans community and the cis hetero community. And I figured the best way of doing so was to push myself up to a table that was not directly invented for me. And and therefore I was able to connect with people outside of my community and they could ask me questions. So if anybody has any questions of me this far through the whole panel, feel free to ask those questions. I am an open book and there's no bad questions. You know, we're just going to correct you, we're going to answer you, and we're going to move on because it's about the positivity, love, and education.
Thank you, thank you. Number three.
Hi, my name is Jasmine, but I'm the founder of Trans Lives for LA. Can
Somebody have a bad echo. Number
you,
one, mute yourself until we get back to you, please. Okay, that's better.
okay, my name is Jasmine, you guys. How y'all doing? I'm the founder of Trans Lives Matter, Shreveport, Louisiana. On here, I do a trans talk panel every Sunday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you want to know more about transitioning, anything trans, come to the panel. I do a lot for the trans community in my city. I was honored by the City Council of Shreveport, to make Transgender Day of Remembrance a day because we late, we behind, but we finally got it, and they honored me for to help them make that day a holiday. So yeah, let's get to it.
Thank you, thank you. Shout out to everybody for in the comments. Thank y'all. Make sure y'all season the first gift the panel. If it wasn't for you guys and the bingo team, we would not have this moment right now. We do have the bingo team watching, so do not be disrespectful. If you don't like what we're talking about, or if you don't like what we're saying, you can leave. It's always an exit to the door. Not to be disrespectful, just to let you know you can leave. And a lot of trans girls, a lot of us have lived different lives. So if you don't approve what the next girl said, just keep on going. Okay? Can I get a moment? We're gonna have a moment of silence for about 30 seconds to give our piece to the trans girl that has been murdered. Can I get the rainbow flags? The rainbow flags and the transgender flags, please. Thank you. A moment of silence. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, my name is Savannah. So the first topic we're going to start off as SRS. SRS means a sex reassignment surgery. So all y'all, can y'all put yourself on mute, please, while I talk and then. So I do 15 to 30 minutes. Number one, then we go so on and so on and so on. Okay. Okay, thank you. So my name is Savannah Garcia. Y'all have known me. A couple of you guys have known me from beginning of transition. So recently, me being on bingo, I have had the full surgery, a sex change, and a lot of you guys don't know the things that I had to go through or what I'm going through to be like this, to do this. I had to go, like, we have help from the Medi-Cal where they help us get surgery. And I was so amped and everything for the surgery to get help with the surgery, and so many problems I had with the surgery and didn't go through. So what I did with this big old platform with Bingo, I saved my money up, and I saved my money up, and I went out of the country, and I went in out of the country, and I went by myself because I didn't have like a support system. Only the people on Bingo. When I went, I didn't know what I was doing, where I was going, or anything. It was so depressing, and I just prayed myself through it. I I've been bullied so much as being a transgender woman living my life, and I thought me getting a sex change where would be, would complete it. I was depressed in so many ways and different things. When you go, you don't know how many inches you're going through. You don't know how deep it's gonna be. And every day of the rest of my life, I have to stick a dilator in my vagina to keep it open. If I don't stick a, um, a dilator in my vagina, it would close. It would close, and that would be a waste of my money. Doing this surgery, you have to, if you want to get this surgery, make sure it's something that you want. You have to go through a therapist. Go through a therapist, because if you don't go through your therapist, you it's no reason for you to do it. Go through your therapist. Go go take your hormones. Do everything you need to do. That's that. And that's the things that I've been through of my sex change and things. It's very depressing. You will not find a lot of things that you need for the sex change. When I got back to the US, it was no support nowhere that I could find the things that they had out there for me to take care of myself. I had to train myself mentally. I had to train myself physically. Me going to the restroom was so different. Me me just wearing different clothes was so different. And a lot of people don't understand that. And as I seen on the news today and all of the bloggers, they have stopped transgender for kids and stuff. So we will want to be helping with that. Yeah, this is not something to play with. This is not something to play with at all. So y'all can unmute yourself.
Is there an echo if we unmute though?
Huh?
Is there an echo if we unmute? Is do
No,
y'all
you
hear
you
anything?
you you know it's no. No, I
Okay.
just want y'all to rebuttal of what I'm talking about. My, do y'all have any questions for me about me having a sex reassignment surgery or anything like that?
Well, because I don't want to hog. But so I want to say this because all people, I don't want people to group trans individuals in a box.
Right.
And I want us to understand all of our journeys are different. We've heard the definition of what Savannah calls a her full surgery. My full surgery didn't include that. Some trans individuals would want to have bottom surgery, and then there's some who don't. I'm one of those ones who don't. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm fully transitioned. Now, and another thing is I want to put out that SRS is starting to become what they call an outdated terminology.
Right.
Now they're saying SCS, which is sexual confirmation surgery,
Right.
because we're not reassigning ourselves; we're confirming who we already are.
Absolutely.
So we want to make sure that we are using those type of correct terminology, which is something that takes time to get to grasp. But we're confirming, we're not reassigning, because I already know who
Right.
the hell I am before the surgery, if that makes sense to y'all. Um, Even when it comes to transitioning, there are a lot of people in the trans community that are not allowed to take hormones. I was one of those individuals. I just so happen to be an intersex trans woman. So my body produces way too much estrogen than it should. So taking more estrogen can actually raise the risk of me having cancer. Believe it or not, like I said, I'm an open book. Y'all gonna learn this real quick. But I've already had to deal with testicular cancer in my life. So it's like, I could always take these hormones because, somebody might want to say, oh, girl, she's not feminine enough, or whatever the case may be. But once again, um, my transition is different and nobody can define my femininity. So I don't want to talk too long because there's two other people on the panel.
Right. Thank you. I appreciate it. Number three.
I absolutely agree with number two. Like people see us and they don't see us, if that make any sense. Um,
Right.
us and they don't see us. Like I'm so glad about these visibility. Let's stay visible, because when I did the transition, when I transitioned, it was me and five of my close friends. We all came out together. We all did everything together. And one night, I hate talking about these, but one night we went out and shots fired. All my friends were killed, and I had got shot 6 times. But it opened my eyes. Like I had bags, I had one got them removed, and I was like so depressed. I just didn't I couldn't take it anymore. So um I detransitioned. I did it for me because that's what I wanted to do. But when I did that, that's what woke up hashtag trans lives matter. Because my friends didn't ask for that. They did not ask for that. So but I hate talking about this. But go ahead, number one.
Number one.
I always want to make space for our femme folk to talk first, which is why I didn't speak first. So,
Right.
regardless of this box being number one, I always want to make space for feminine folk to speak their truth first. So for me, uh, gender confirming surgery looked like top surgery. Um, so that was the removal of my breast and to look more masculine. And
Right.
as you can see, I'm a very stocky dude. So it was the way that I stood up after I had surgery that made me know that I had made the right decision. Like it was, I stand a little bit straighter. I talk with my head, my chin level to the ground. It's a confidence thing for me. Um, it was the world is now getting to see a little bit more of the man that I've always felt like I was destined to be. So it was just waking up the next morning after surgery and realizing that I had taken the steps necessary to be on the way to completion. As of right now, and when we talk about lower surgeries, for me, that's still a little bit uh, in the research phase, but it's definitely something that I'm looking into. And there are different types of procedures when we talk about lower surgeries for masculine people. There are definitely people that are in the comments that can speak to that in great detail, which I hope we can bring some folks up pretty soon.
Yeah. Yes, we would have a commercial break where we would bring others up. And when you come up, honey, do not come up acting a fool. Come up and act with some sense because this is very important. This is very important for us and for you guys to learn too. The straight people, because you don't know if you're going to have a transgender or a gay male or LGBTQ community child yourself. So this is a lot that you want to learn so you could so you could train your children. Hello.
And I know you said the straight people, but guess what? This is information that our own LGBTQ community needs to learn as well,
Right.
because we cannot sit here and hold our heads proud as being LGBTQ members, but not know where we came from.
Exactly. Exactly. And I agree with that. And
Absolutely.
huh?
I said absolutely.
Yeah. So the people that want to go through your full transition, don't rush. Take your time because you're gonna have a lot of people that's telling you that you ain't got this type of surgery, that you this strong, that you this and you that. And a lot of people get that type of backlash on them where they start to go do it under the table, getting fake, silicone and cement and bottle caps and different things up in them to make them look like a woman. So me, and I want to give this this a resource I could give to you. Any transgender girl, any trans man, any stud or whatever, it's always a resource out there to help you complete your transition where you don't have to go prostitute, escort, do drugs, and do all these things to get the surgery you want. Make sure you are making the right decision for you, for you. Because I was at a point at a time that I was like number three. I went back to a guy, back to a boy, back to a girl, back to a guy, confused because I didn't know what I wanted to be. I had to live for myself. So what I want you to guys to do is find self love in yourself, find confidence, and just because you see another girl that's prettier than you, or she's realer than you, or this and that, your time is coming. It's just not like poof and then you transition it. You have to go through so many things, so many things. And me, some of the things I did do for the fans and for television and for the supporters. And I didn't love myself at a certain point of time. But as I went on live and I went in the community and gave myself to you guys, and you guys have pushed me more and supported me through all my surgeries, that made me just complete everything. And I just want to say I do appreciate you guys for being there for me. And like I said, if you want to do your bottom surgery, go get the help, go get the therapy, go get everything because it's not easy. It's very depressing and it's a very mental challenge. So yes. Anyways, yes. Can we have the next contender? Hello.
I didn't hear you what you say.
The next topic.
Um,
Um,
mental illness. That's the next topic. Mental illness.
Can you mute you? Number is that number one?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, go now.
Mental illness is very serious, you guys. Like when it comes to transgender individuals, mental illness is serious. Study has found that transgender individuals who had received a diagnosis of gender incongruence were 6 times more likely to have mood swings, anxiety disorders than the general population. Like that is serious. Like 3 times likely to let to have prescribed medication for anti anxiety, like more than 6 times so likely to attempt suicide. Come on. Like we gotta stay together. We gotta stick together. We have to support each other. If we don't support each other, who gonna support us? They already bad name us. They talk about us like a dog. Like, come on. It's up to us. We are the community. Like I know it's a lot of people out here that support transgender and LGBT affiliated people, but it starts with us. It starts with us, people. We cannot, we cannot, we cannot give up on ourselves. Like mental illness is very serious. Like I just told y'all my story. Depressed. I was depressed. That's part of mental illness. Like I didn't know if I wanted to live or die. That's part of mental illness when it comes to being a transgender individual. Like we have to do this together. United we stand, divided we fall. I say that in everything I do. It starts with us. You got something to say about this, Savannah?
Yeah, I do. I do have something to say about it because I done been in plenty of situations where I felt like I didn't want to live. I wanted to do so many drugs to overdose. I done been on boulevards and strolls and went crazy, cutting on myself, back and forth because I was so depressed and I didn't know what I was doing with my life. This depressed being homeless, depressed have to have sex with people that I don't want to have sex to have a place to sleep or to get a meal, to do these type of things where my parents not accepting me, my family not accepting me, just living. So yeah, mental illness is very real to me, and I'm a little mental ill and a little touch and things, but I get over it, and I I I try to talk to God to keep me going forward because it's been many a times off this app where I done been on this app and I felt like it done took over my life that the LGBTQ community, us trans girls put each other down and we already going through something behind the lives. And we, I fight every day. I fight every day for me to just breathe and live. So yeah, I'm a part of mental health. Yes. Number two.
Um, when it comes to mental illness, I want to first make sure it's clear that we're not talking about our identity is the mental illness. We're talking about the traumas that we've gone through in our lives
Right.
that has created the issues. When it comes, and I can only speak for self, so I'm going to speak as I. The issues that I had was PTSD and just depression. A lot of people know I have a lot of tattoos on my body. They don't know that I actually tried to commit suicide 3 times because I wasn't accepted. It was so deep. It was that I wasn't accepted by my family, and I wasn't accepted by the LGBTQ community either. Because it seems like the people have these high standards of you instead of just allowing you to be who you are. They want you to look like this. They want you to walk this way. They want to define this about you. That you can only do this. Oh, that's not ladylike. That's not this. And before you know it, you almost forget who you are. And then you get to the point where you don't care about who you are. I have this tattoo on my wrist. A lot of people don't know about that story. This is my birth name right here, DeAndrea. Um, I ended up getting this tattoo on my wrist because this is where I tried to slice my wrist. I had to go see a therapist, and I would advise for everyone within the trans community. There we go. We got matching scars, sis. I would advise for everyone in this community to speak to a professional, not because something is wrong with you, but somebody that can actually help coach you so that you understand what type of adversities you're going to reach one day or possibly go through. So, my therapist is actually the person who told me to get this tattoo. And the tattoo signifies my birth name is on across the scar. The name I go by now, Talia, is on the top of my wrist. Everything that happened to me negative in my life was at my worst and at my bottom. But Talia always rises to the top. Sometimes you have to really, really deep dive into the issues that you're going through in order to pull yourself out. And sometimes it comes from actually speaking to a professional. But these are stories that y'all wouldn't have known just by looking at us. So know that if you are going through these issues, you're not alone.
Right.
Absolutely.
Number one.
Okay. So when I started out initially, I couldn't figure out why I was so depressed. I couldn't figure out why being called a stud and why I never really identified with being a lesbian and all of those things. Like it was too much of like trying to make sense of the alphabet soup. Um, so the best thing I did was I went to a therapist. As I talked with my therapist, we started walking towards this conversation about my gender identity and how I felt comfortable.
Right.
Um, Then I started finding like different resources online, and then it started to make sense. I randomly thought about a show, an episode of Mari, where I saw there was one guy on this episode that was black. Then, of course, the other trans guys were white guys. So they kind of transitioned themselves into a position of kind of like privilege. Where as a black man, that type of thing wasn't talked about. That was some, excuse the language, that's the white folks shit to do, right? Um, so I didn't even think transition was possible. Here I am now talking about transitioning, and once going to therapy helped me deal with emotional shit from my childhood that caused me to feel like I could not transition. I could not become the man that you see on this panel. All the childhood traumas from being bullied and picked on because I was different. Being told that I was a nigga anyway. Like I was, like for all intents and purposes, but I hated it because I was so different from the rest of the boys my age. I couldn't go stand and pee on a tree. So things that cis men in their boyhood take advantage, I envy because I wanted to pee on trees to get caught, playing the other end of, hide and go freak. It, all of those little things that little boys enjoy, and even though that we know that shit is toxic now, because we are going to acknowledge that that's not okay. But I had this idea in my head, and once I went to a therapist, I sought help for my depression and my anxiety, and yeah,
Yes,
it
yes,
saved
yes.
my life.
Yeah, it's real. Like you heard the stories of four individuals, four trans individuals. Like it is very serious with mental health. So if y'all have any friends or anybody, please tell them to seek help. We all did. We all did. Like because when I got shot, I thought I'd never walk again. Like I was paralyzed for like 4 months. 4 months I was paralyzed, like thinking, like, oh my God, if I'm am I gonna be able to walk again? Can I do this? Like, do you know how it feel? I don't know if y'all know how it feel, but I'm gonna tell you how it feel for someone have to bathe you, do everything for you. You can't do anything for yourself, all because we was trans and I lost my friends. Everybody that I grew up with, I lost because of trans hate. Like, come on, y'all. We got to stick together, people. We're going to have to. If we don't, they're going to keep doing us like this. They're going to keep doing it to us. We got to put a stop to it. We got to put our foot down right now. We have to. Because if we don't,
You
I'm done.
okay? Thank you, boo. Thank you. I appreciate you for bringing up that topic. Okay, so everybody in the comments, last one of us are talking about different topics. After we talk about our different topics, we'll bring a few people up to let us know and say have something what they have to say. Y'all could come up, but don't be disrespectful. So who's next? Number one. Can you go, please?
Thought the next topic was societal acceptance. Oh wait, nope. I'm actually like the third person down. If you're looking at the email that I'm looking
Well, we're gonna go to the third person because number two is last, so you can just go. You could go right now.
at. Okay. So one of the conversations that I'm supposed to lead is fighting stigma and misconceptions about trans people.
Right.
Okay. So when we say stigma, we are looking at biases against a particular group or individuals, right? So we hear stigma often used when we are talking about HIV, but there's also stigma when it comes to being a trans person. So one of the stigmas that I often kind of look at as being a trans man or a trans masculine person is that there's this theory that we transition to be heterosexual. And as somebody who is completely not heterosexual, identifying, I actually identify along the queer spectrum. So I don't date anybody who identifies as heterosexual. That's just how I do things. Um, there's also this notion that we have to be super masculine. I prefer a level of masculinity, but I also like to play with my hands and vogue a little bit, and I embrace my feminine side. So I break all those norms in everyday life because I'm not going to let any societal box define the man that I am. And you can't tell me otherwise because you're not me. So it's not your life. So when we're talking about societal acceptance and stigma around being a trans person, how does everybody else feel, and how do you kind of like break that shit up? Excuse my language.
That's okay. We understand that sometimes you got to use that language. So you want are you coming to me now? Okay. I just feel like the stigma of the discrimination towards us is just like too much. Y'all have to y'all have to understand that we fighting every day to live. We fighting every day for our voice. We are fighting every day for our rights. Get to know us first. I don't I yes, I me personally, I have been disrespectful to my trans community because we don't know how to get along. And a lot of you guys out there think it's okay to call us men and boys and wigs and that. Baby, it's different around here. You have to understand transgenders are transgenders, cross dressers are cross dressers, drag queens are drag queens. That's it. That's all I got to say, honey. Number two.
Mm, it's cute. It's just like while we're talking about this discrimination in the comment section. That's fab. That's the
Don't
that's.
worry about it, honey,
But
honey. We
oh
not
no
gonna worry.
no.
We,
See,
we
here's
not
the.
gonna worry about the comments. We focusing on us right now.
Oh no
It's
no,
our
because
day.
the
It's
comments
our
is the
day.
reason why
Whatever
I'm
they
about
that they talk
to
about,
touch
it's
on
our
something.
day.
There's two different types of ignorance, y'all. Being ignorant to something basically means that you're just not knowledgeable of. And then there is something called willful ignorance, and those are the ones that we are sitting here educating, but they still want to keep fighting the just biting the bug. Now, when it comes to discrimination and stuff like that, my job as an advocate is to feel comfortable being uncomfortable. So, therefore, I'm going to respond to you with education, regardless of how ignorant you're acting. Now, once I give you that full bit of knowledge and you're still not receiving it, after I've broke it down and dumbed it down to the most simplest pieces of verbiage, at that point, it's just willful ignorance. Sometimes we have to understand that some people are just not going to accept us, don't want to accept us, and they're just going to be comfortable being willfully ignorant. And at that point in time, we have to make sure that we are guarding our energy, which should always be of the most positive energy, and move on. Some people are not meant to be in your life, and some situations that you want in life isn't what you actually needed. And that's why we have to differentiate the differences between wants and needs. Do I want this person in my life? Do I want this situation in my life? Or do I need this situation in my life? And that's how you weigh it out, and you can just move past all the issues.
Absolutely. So you said everything I was gonna
I
say. You
number one.
said
I think when number three talk, you just got to mute you because for some reason when she go up there, I think you got to mute. Okay, go now.
I said number two said everything that I was gonna say. Everything I was gonna say, she said it because we have to know the difference. We have us as transgender people. We have to know the difference.
Okay.
You here? Is you here for me? Is you here for me? Or is you here for them? Like we got to know the difference. Well said, number two.
Well said. Well said. Well said. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate you. Number one for talk about the stigma. So number two, can you bring us with something? Let us know what's going on with your topic.
I'm actually joined on with Bandit's topic, so whenever he with the
Okay,
rubber
but
band. Yeah, but there are somebody did make a comment earlier that there's more people for the panel that are in the queue. I'm
no, no,
not sure if
no.
we can.
I totally understand that. I totally understand that. I wanted to get us first, and
Okay.
then I was gonna extend the panel and do all that.
Okay.
Yeah. So can you number
Uh,
two?
Sorry, I keep self muting. But no, so mine is with the topic with banded with support groups and different organizations within the community.
Okay. Well, let me add them up now. Uh, don't get in this comment. You're not supposed to be here, boo. I think it's this one. Are you in, boo? Hello.
who you talking to?
Number five.
Oh, I don't see nobody number 5.
Miss Lanaya. Well, come back. Hold on. Don't get in the queue if you're not supposed to be here. And if you're not supposed to be here, my bodyguards will get you out. Oh, there she go. Okay, hold on. Let me add another person.
Hey y'all.
How you doing, boo?
Good. Okay, so let me.
Wait,
I'm gonna
wait,
introduce,
wait,
I'm gonna
wait, wait,
introduce
wait,
myself. My name is
wait.
Kanaya. I'm a HIV positive trans woman. Um, yeah, I just wanted to introduce myself right quick. Vanna, why you give me the big box?
You want to introduce yourself?
Okay, so let me repeat myself. My name is Kanaya. I'm a HIV positive trans woman. I was definitely listening to everything y'all was saying. Mental health is definitely important because I was suicidal also. 2015, I wanted to commit suicide because people don't realize when you don't have support, it makes it so hard. Even when people don't accept you, it's just my thing is like number three has said, it's time for all of us to stick together now. It's time because we don't lost too many people. So it's like when we going to realize that we all we got.
Right.
And I'm one of those girls. I used to not even want to be around the community. You get what I'm saying? Because it's so messy. It's so much drama comes behind it. But now the more I realize by being on this app, it's like, girl, it's time to stick together now because we don't lost too many people.
Yes. Thank you.
But I will definitely say, I'm definitely thankful to even be here, to even be sitting on this panel right now, to even hear everybody else's story. I'm definitely thankful.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Ooh, thank you, y'all.
Hello,
Thank you,
everyone.
thank you, thank you.
Hi.
How you
How's
doing, boo?
everybody doing? I'm doing good. My name is Phoenix Gale. I go by Miss Corinne on this app. I am a organizer and community activist in New York State and the Hudson Valley. I was just actually recently recognized for my work in the Hudson Valley for doing work with Black and Brown queer folks, creating safe spaces for them. I'm actually now studying on doing campaign work for decriminalizing sex work in New York. So,
Thank you.
um, I guess the reason why I was invited to this panel before was to talk about terminology in the transgender community. Um, just so people know, being trans is transgender is an umbrella term. It is not the all and be all of transgender. There's a lot of different terminologies up under transgender as far as gender nonconforming, butch, femme, uh, transsexual, trans woman, trans man, a lot of different. a lot of different avenues, and you have to realize that everyone's transition doesn't look the same. A lot of the people that have fought for us for gay rights weren't people that look like a lot of the ladies on this panel, as far as like being passable. A lot of these women that fought for us before are people that we would deem necessarily unpassable, non-binary. Um, so yeah,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
no
Let,
problem.
let me open it more. Hold on. Who do you want to bring? Hold on. Let me open it more.
Thank you guys.
Okay, there we go.
Savannah,
Huh?
can we actually play with her? She was talking about the different identities and stuff. Can we elaborate more on that with everyone in the
Yeah, yeah,
panel?
yeah, yeah. Sure,
Hmm.
sure, sure. Yeah, I could. Yeah, yes, yes, yes. You, whatever you have questions. You, number one, two, number three. You guys could, rebuttal all that. I'm just here to host the panel, so you guys could, if you got some, if you want to stop or you want to say something, y'all have the right. You three, okay, okay. Number four.
Yes.
Number two has something to say to you.
So no, I wanted you to, because one of the things that we even on Trans Day of Visibility, and I said this on another panel, is that we focus a lot on the binary and the non-binary, but we rarely talk about gender non-conforming individuals,
Oh,
which are
yes.
part of the trans community as well. And considering that so far no one has identified as gender non-conforming on this panel, unless I missed it, we need to at least discuss what gender nonconforming is, and possibly, if be, have a person of gender nonconforming be able to speak for themselves.
Yeah, which is kind of sad that someone of that experience is actually not on this panel right now.
Hmm.
But that's things that we could talk about in the future to make panels better. Gender nonconforming is when you do not conform to a gender necessarily. When you don't feel like you fit in between necessarily quote unquote male and female. Is when you feel like you're in the middle of the binary, that you just feel like you're just human. So
Okay, number six, can you introduce yourself, please?
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Chris, known on BIGO as El Jefe, but off BIGO, I do advocacy around trans healthcare. I'm a voting W Path member and
Wait,
help.
wait, hold on, boo, hold on, boo. Now,
Thank you. I'm a trans healthcare advocate. I do advocacy around access to transition related surgeries, as well as access to corrective surgeries if someone has had black market silicone injected so that they can have assistance getting that removed. As a WPATH member, which is the World Professional Association for Transgender Health, I'm part of the team that creates the standards of care. And one of the things I'm doing is working to create more accountability among surgeons around the different procedures offered, as well as information and education for the community.
okay, let me have one. Shaky, can you come to the light, please?
Okay, yes, yes.
I wanted to
Pardon
invite
me.
Shaky to at least have a LGBT
So
gay man
I'm looking.
as well.
I'm shaving right now, so I will come to the light. So everybody, if y'all don't know who I am Shaky. I'm also Savannah's friend. I also know Trans Lives Matter, because she's from my state. I was locked up. I'm gonna just go ahead and break it down. I was locked up, and I want to address something about it. I am not trans. I am a gay man. Consider myself more of a butch or femme queen. Than anything. And I will say my knowledge about the trans community is limited because I thought initially in my early life that just trans was just another level of gay, but then I didn't understand, and I thanks to Savannah sitting down and talking to me and understanding what your gender identity is and who you are, I began to gain a new knowledge of what the trans community is. But I wanted to just speak real quickly. First of all, I just want to say that everybody on this panel is wonderful and beautiful, and I thank y'all for expressing that knowledge, because a lot of things that y'all talked about were very intimate, and I listened to it, and it was like, and it's hard, it's very difficult on panels like this, especially on apps like this, to show that candor, and I definitely appreciate that, and I was amazed, and I'm just appalled. My mouth is open at some of the stories that y'all were telling, and y'all are all beautiful, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for bringing that to light, because that is very much needed. And just bridging the gap from the LGBT to the LGB community to the trans community, because I do understand now it is a difference. It's not another level of gay. It's not another level of anything. It's, you have your own identity. You have your own who you are. You have your own look in the mirror when you see yourself. And I apologize for ever thinking that. Um, but I will say this, as a person who was formerly incarcerated and who went through a prison rape while I was incarcerated, myself as a gay man, and will say that in the one thing that akin that my trans sisters and I shared were that we were the targets. We were the ones that were the most susceptible to uh, prison rape. And I just want to say, I want, if y'all could bring, because I know a lot of times the lives we choose synonymously can lead us into in situations of incarceration. And I just wanted to highlight that, and if anybody had something to say in regards to your safety or personal safety while incarcerated as a trans woman, and they're more than likely without I mean, nowadays they're starting to put more trans women in women's prisons, but when I was in prison there was trans women were put in men's prisons, which, I mean, instantaneously made them the target for prison rape, sexual enslavement, and the like, and if I just want to again say thank you, and I'll go ahead and drop down if y'all wanted to piggyback off that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. So I'm gonna add one more person, then we could get it together, yeah. So I'm gonna have M7 and 8 introduce yourself, and then we're gonna go. 7, number 7, can you introduce yourself and let us know what the topic you're here for, please?
Yes, hi, my name is Kekel Chong on BIGO. I am a gender non-conforming person. I pretty much am well versed in the LGBTQ community on BIGO. The topic that I really want to talk about is not not trying to put ourselves, the trans community and the LGBTQ community in itself, not trying to separate ourselves from normal people, not trying to segregate ourselves from regular people, because if we continue to do that, they will never, the outside of the LGBT community will never see us as normal people, and that's what I'm here to represent. That we are just as equal as everybody else.
Thank you. I love that. Hey, boo.
Hey, I'm Candace. Is Can you unmute number three, please?
Number 3.
Number
Okay.
three. Yeah.
Y'all supposed to stop a little bit.
Huh?
The echo on your phone.
Okay. Is that better?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no,
Great.
that's still
That's better.
better. Better. No, no,
Okay.
no.
You just gotta
Better.
no. The echo is
Is
What
it from
about,
me?
huh?
Is the echo coming from me?
the echo is
Phone up. Take that phone up.
Okay. Is that better?
Hello?
Yeah.
it's horrible.
All right. Now I
Wait,
got
let me,
it.
let
Is
me
that
do her.
better?
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, just talk to her, dude.
Okay. Is that better, y'all? Can y'all hear
Hello?
me? Yes.
Are you on earphone?
No.
Well, I don't know. Just talk to her. I won't talk. So,
Okay. All right.
They said they got
So
packed off.
my case is off now.
Okay. Good stuff.
Okay. So number three asked me to come to this panel. I wasn't quite sure on what she asked me to come to the panel for. I am a trans. Whew, she know I don't like to say it, but this is giving me courage. This platform has really given me courage to step out and speak on being um, labeling myself as a trans woman and saying it proudly. Since I got on the app, it has been nothing but love. Um, the first person I met on the app was number three. I was on her panel. I would not let anybody know my, situation, especially of me being a woman of trans experience. But the reason why is because of some of the things I went through in the past. You're actually looking at the person who put in place a trans policy for the CSRA, which I don't talk about all the time because I don't want to take full credit for that. But I definitely do some outreach work as well. I try to encourage people, not only trans individuals, but also, cisgender individuals, anybody who's willing to listen to me. I'm definitely there to be an encouraging person. Um, I try to make sure I'm very respectful to everybody, even if you're trans, heterosexual. I don't care if you don't like us. I'm still respectful towards you because I realize that when you present a person or you be respectful to a person, that's how they're going to, treat you. Even if they don't like your ways, they're still going to respect you. Um, Only thing I ask is that when people come on my platform is just be respectful, and when you be respectful, everything else will fall in line. When people ask about how can we bridge the gap, that's how you bridge the gap, just respecting each person as being a human and not because of the choices that they make in life, because at the end of the day you don't know the next person's story. So anybody got any questions for me? Because I'm gonna step down because it's a lot of people in here.
Um,
We can't hear you.
it's a echo real bad. All I'm gonna say is, ooh,
Now, what I wanted to ask you is, I want to know because I have some trans girls. Well, me, I'm very open with myself because I feel like it's very safe for me on my end. When a guy try to talk to me, I let him know like I'm trans, and it's either you're gonna talk to me or you're not, or you can keep on pushing. And I wanted to know why you do not let them know that you're a trans woman.
It's not the fact that I don't let them know that I'm a trans. Any person, I feel like when it comes down to me dating, that's something totally different. I'm not gonna wear trans on my forehead every time I step out and say, okay, I'm a trans woman, or this is how I live my life. No. If a person is trying to pursue me and I feel like they're to the point where I need to express to them that I am a woman of trans experience because I feel like it's gonna go to the next, you know, stage, then of course. But I'm not gonna sit if I go to a straight club, if I go anywhere, I'm not gonna walk around and say, oh, I'm a trans woman just because someone decided to buy me a drink, or just because someone asks me, okay, do you want to go on a date? No, I'm not going to just tell you. But if I do feel like, okay, we're going to take steps forward and I want to, like, really get to know you on a relationship level, then by all means, because you got to protect, to me, how I feel like I have to protect myself. Um, just a little background story about me. I grew up in a small town, and the small town is Denmark, South Carolina. And I went to school in Charleston, and I graduated, and I went back to Denmark, which is a very small town. And a lot of people I never seen this before. So when I got into college and I went to Columbia, that's when I was introduced to people being different, and really finding out who I am as a person once I got into college. Um, And one of my close friends, her name is Kiera Revlon. She is actually the reason why I stepped out of my comfort zone and I became a trans woman. I started off as a between and Dre. No shade to anybody on here, but you looking at someone who basically all my moans, everything I did was like it was backstage. Like I did not go to a doctor. I did not seek professional help. I took the time and I did my research myself. I actually started out moaning by taking prenatal vitamins and stealing my sister birth control. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I did a lot of research to like find different ways of moaning and finding different ways of bringing out my my female features. So I just don't feel like I need to tell any and everybody that I am trans because at the end of the day, you want them. I feel like if you want people to treat you normal, then don't put yourself in uncomfortable situations. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I understand and I respect anybody who say, okay, I'm a trans woman and I want to be proud and just say I'm a trans woman. By all means, do your thing, but you also got to be ready for what takes place after that as well because some people are not educated and some people just don't know how to deal with it because that's not the culture and they was not brought up around certain things. And me personally, I wasn't brought up around certain things. I wasn't brought up around seeing trans women. I wasn't brought up around seeing openly gay men, honestly.
Right.
Am I on mute? Okay. So I wanted to talk about this because I know a lot of people are gonna say you have to no, it's dangerous to do it that way. You have to be upfront. I want people to understand that hate is hate regardless if you do it tomorrow or right now. And I'm gonna bring this scenario to y'all. And I've actually said this many times, but never on this platform. But I was walking in broad daylight downtown Atlanta, right across from the varsity. There's a gas station right there. A man was catcalling me. So I went over to him because I didn't want to be disrespectful. Y'all, I'm from the South, honey. When people talk to you, you actually acknowledge and you speak back to them. So he started wanting to get my phone number. And I immediately said, just to be respectful to you and to myself, I want you to acknowledge the fact that I am a black trans woman. He immediately reached for his gun and put it to my head. Now, y'all keep saying, oh, you got to start off with that conversation. Hate is hate regardless, and you don't know who you're dealing with. So I always tell people that you explain your truth when you are feeling safe enough to do so. And you also have to remember that not everyone in this world deserves your truth or when they get it.
Right. Um, number one, do you have something to say? No. Okay. Three.
I feel like being trans is normal. Like, and I tell, because I have a family of people, that want to know about trans, LGBT affiliated. What I'm saying is, no, you don't tell everybody. You don't come right out and say it. No, you don't do that. But I feel like half of the trans girls are getting killed because they're not being honest.
Exactly.
That's why I started Trans Lives Matter. Because I feel like let's get it on out there. If he wants you, he gonna want you anyway. He gonna want you whether you trans, LGBT, Bush Queen, no, whatever you is, he gonna want you anyway. And that's why I tell you all the time, like, tell it, let it be known. Oh well, I mean, hey, it is what it is. That's you.
Well, well, me personally, I don't think that. Yeah, I dish my tea, but I don't think that that's the reason why a lot of the girls get murdered. A lot of the girls get murdered for different things, not just because of their tea. Number four.
Yeah, I got a couple of things to say. One, Candy, I love you so much. Like, I love you, love you, love you, love you down. And I'm just so happy that you like can feel comfortable enough to come up here and like, speak your truth, like to be quite honest. And like, I'm just gonna let you know, like every person out there is not the fight is not for them. Like, you just living in your truth alone. Like, you are your advocate. Like, you living in your truth alone. Like, that speaks volumes enough. Like, that's a protest in itself every single day. Um, I have to, like, combat with number three real quick. That's not the reason why a lot of trans girls are being killed. The reason why a lot of trans girls get killed is because the egos of cisgender men that they come in contact with, to feel that, like, oh well, I'm going to keep this a secret. I want this to be a secret. I want to say 8 out of 10 girls, baby, they tell them the tea because they know the consequences of what's going to happen. So that narrative that we push off is absolutely false. It's like very, very, very far from the truth. And I see, like, we have over 2,000 people here, and I know a lot of them are Black and brown folks. Um, we need y'all. We need y'all a lot. We need y'all to stand up and be allies. And what that means is, when you hear somebody saying something about someone of the trans community or someone that's gender nonconforming, speak up, say something when you're hearing somebody talk about something in the barbershop, when you're in a hair salon, when in the laundromat, whatever. Speak up for us. That's how you become an ally to us. And no, I don't have to tell you my tea. I don't have to tell you what is between my legs when I first meet you just because you said hi. That is not your business. That is not, you don't have the right, you don't have the gall to even approach me in any type of way unless I feel like I want to move further along with you. Like, you have, like, that I'm not gonna put myself at risk just because you said hello. That's not what's gonna happen. But yeah, I love y'all down.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Number five.
Okay, so my thing is, as far as the trans getting killed, you got to look at it like this also. Most trans, they so much want the trade boys. It's all about, everybody know in the community, either it's some drugs involved or some prostitution. My thing is, the girls is so afraid to let the boys know what they is just because they want to get a coin. And I'm just speaking on what I'm seeing. So it's like, if you're going to be out here doing what you're doing, at least be upfront with it. So it's like, that's when you're putting yourself in danger by want to be out here sucking and fucking, but don't want to be true to yourself. It's all about being true.
Right. Okay. I'm in a serious mean Louis Prince. Hello.
Hello. I saw people were asking, yes, I am a man of trans experience, and I'm a post-op lower surgery man. I was supposed to talk about surgery earlier, so
Right.
I'll have that experience as well. And one of
Well,
the
you
things,
could, excuse me, sorry to cut off. You can, we actually still want to hear you talk about it, so you could still talk about it now. Thank you. We appreciate it.
no problem. One of the things I wanted to say for me as a challenge is invisibility. And a lot of times people say that trans men don't show up, but we show up and we get ignored, or we show up and aren't heard or given this space to share that. And when it comes to like the violence we face, a lot of times when we have even Trans Day of Remembrance, we always say her name, but we forget about our trans mass
Right.
folk. You
Oh,
know, Day that was murdered 2 days after George Floyd, folks weren't saying his name. And when they reported him in the news, they reported him as a stud. And so a lot of times, a lot of people think that trans men aren't being murdered, trans men aren't being raped, is the misreporting that we have to deal with. And even around disclosure, like, I've disclosed and people tell me it don't even make sense to disclose because they feel like I'm catfishing. Because if I disclose that I'm a man of trans experience, then they make assumptions about my body and my sexuality. And then when I change, and then when I educate them, then they're like, well, wait, so then things were what I assumed, but wait. And so a lot of times I think we focus on this word of disclosure and we forget that we gotta connect as people and talk to one another as people. Because saying that you're a trans or a trans man doesn't really tell you anything. Box number one and I are both trans men, but we're different people. Like different men have different experiences, and how they show their transness is different as well.
Thank you. And and okay, what about the surgery? Because I thought that when you got up here, child, I thought you was some type of trade, Hattie. And, so did you did have the sex change and everything or no?
I've had so for trans masculine individuals who want to access lower surgery, the two main procedures are called metoidioplasty and phalloplasty. I've actually had both procedures. Metoidioplasty uses your natural growth from testosterone, and
Uh,
they repeat that so that you have a penis. It's usually no more than the size of a thumb. But the benefit of that is they're not cutting any nerves, so you're more likely to have sensation. You don't have to worry about nerve damage the same way as other donor sites. Another technique, which is the phalloplasty, they take a donor tissue. Sorry, I'm trying to get this. They take donor
oh, you got it.
tissue from another part of the body to create a bigger penis. And so for me, a lot of people have seen the scar, but not everybody knows what it is. But for the sake of education, I'm gonna share it. This is my donor site. So this was the tissue taken to create my penis.
Really?
Yeah. And so that is so that, I have full sensation. Um, I could feel wetness, warmth. If I'm inside someone and they orgasm, I can feel that. Like, there's a lot of misinformation about lower surgery. A lot of people, like, there's a lot of non binary people or people who are fluid in how they have sex, and they feel like if they have phalloplasty, they might not be able to have other types of sexual activities. So, for some trans masculine individuals who like to receive penetration, they can keep the hole open and have a penis created. I had that closed, so if you look between my legs, you just see some hairy balls and my penis. I actually had an experience with TSA I want to share, and a lot of people think like we have it easy. I went through the airport, and yes, because I'm black and a little egotistical, I made sure I had a bigger penis than average. And so whenever I go to the airport, you have that yellow blob on the scanner. And one time I went through, sorry, this story is not easy to tell.
No, 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 no. Hold on. Let me. I'm not mean to cut you off.
It's
I'm
a
very
TSA
interested
thing.
in listening to this because I've always wanted to know. So you doing the right thing. So yeah, let's go.
I had to TSA didn't believe it was my penis, so I had to go in the back, show them my penis, and then also lift my penis and show them my balls before they would let me go. And so the good thing is for me, I had great surgical outcomes, but if I didn't have a great surgical outcome, or if I didn't have surgery at all, it could have went different. I also am a survivor of sexual assault, and so I'm in this room with two guys being told, take my pants off and show them what's between my legs. So a lot of people don't realize like the things we have to go through. And like even having this surgery now, if I'm arrested, I no longer have the option of a women's prison. It's they're sending me to a men's prison, and my only option is Gen Pop or 23-hour confinement. And half the time, they're going to put me straight into 23-hour confinement if they don't want to deal with me. Because my documents are changed and my records are sealed, they're automatically just going to put me into Gen Pop unless I out myself.
Oh my
So
God.
when people say trans men have it easier, when you're black, you don't. I have it easier to get shot by cops. I've dealt with more instances of police pulling me over since medical transition, and like it's crazy. I've been on the side of the highway, had to hold my hands up, almost shot. So people think you transition for fun. No, this is life or death. And To live, I'm actually compromising my life, but I wouldn't change a thing about it because I'm able to be me. I'm able to look in the mirror and be me every day.
Oh. Well, child, that's something I didn't even know, or probably a lot of you guys didn't know. And when he messed me up when he said that it go past the thumb. So me having a sex change, I only could go 5 inches of deep. So I can't have no penis bigger than 5 inches because it's a stop there. And for to hear that, baby, that's about the scoop. Okay, number 7, what you have to say, boo?
I would say the biggest issue within the LGBTQ community that affects trans women are the gay people in it. And I know that a lot of you have been on Bigo for a while and have seen firsthand of how gay people treat trans women here. And let's say a cisgender man is interested in Talia, and they find out that Talia is a trans woman, they'd say, "Oh, he's gay because Talia was born a man." So I would say definitely it's the main issue is the people within the community itself that is affecting the trans community. Because if we can't if we can't accept each other within our community, how would we expect people outside to give us the respect that we want? So yeah, and another thing I wanted to piggyback off of number one mentioned something. No, it was actually number eight. You said you didn't grow up around trans people and whatever. I grew up in Jamaica, like the island Jamaica, so it's a good thing I grew up in an upper class area where I didn't get bullied or anything. I was always my colorful self, obviously not the makeup or whatever. Um, but Jamaica is a serious place, and I've definitely seen my friends get physically assaulted and attacked, and sometimes even killed. Gay advocates in Jamaica are killed, murdered, and people hear screaming like people murdering them, and they just ignore it. And so, yeah, it's a very real thing, and yeah, and I would definitely understand what you're saying about, oh, you don't want to talk about your transition and trying to shy away from your transition because you don't want your transition to be who you it's what I say it. You don't want your transition to be who you are. That's just one side of you, which I totally understand. And Talia getting that getting into that incident with that guy with the gun, that's like awful. And by the grace of God, he did not shoot her, and she's still with us today. Um, yeah, I think that's about it. I'll cover it.
Thank you, Pooh. Thank you, Pooh. Here I come, number 2. Hold on. I just
I
wanted
just
to
want
go
to go
in the
in the
order
order
so we
so
don't
we
run.
don't run.
Okay, Boo,
Okay,
number
Boo, number
8.
8.
Um, okay, so to piggyback off of what number 5 said, um, when you guys say live in your truth, I do live in my truth. I'm very confident in who I am. I don't label myself because I don't want to be labeled. And also to piggyback off of what you said, as far as like why a lot of trans girls are getting killed, let's be real, let's be honest. We all know what goes down. Even when a person knows, most of the girls know, most of the guys know what's going on. But when you have women who are out here posting and terrorizing and telling these men stories on social media platforms, how dare y'all sit here and make it seem as if we cannot always put the blame on these men. And it's no shade. I've seen and I have watched people sit on YouTube, on IG, and put these men business out, and took it as if it was a joke. Now, when we're in the line, when you're in the line of working and when you're in the line of, escorting or whatever, you know what it comes with. It comes with baggage. You know those men don't want to be in a relationship with you. So stop sitting here and acting as if it's always the men. It be the girls as well. That's why I don't label myself as a trans woman all the time. That's why I carry myself to the utmost and I respect cisgender women and I respect heterosexual men because at the end of the day, I could be honest with you, those are the ones who look out for me the most. And I'm keeping it 100 and I'm keeping it buck because it's a lot of women out here, a lot of girls who are trans experienced. And it's no shade. I can't speak for the trans men. I don't know. I've dealt with a few, and you know, it's no shade to y'all. I love y'all down, but I can't speak on y'all. But it's a lot of trans women out here who are very envy and jealous, and they don't want to see each other win and get to the bag. And that's why you have a lot of women out here just because he may have called you last week and now he's calling me this week and he's consistently calling me. Guess what you're going to do? Now you feel like, okay, bitch, I got to suck it to you, so I'm going to out him. And what happens is he gets mad and he go back to you and he lets you hold it. So sometimes we're gonna have to put this accountability on these men, on these women as well. And it's no shade. Y'all know y'all got girlfriends who sit around and who does that and who bash these men. And I'm just speaking from the truth and I'm being real because we can't sit on these panels and give it up as if, oh, we always the victims. Hell no, we're not always the victims. Sometimes we put ourselves in uncomfortable situations. We do things to put other people in uncomfortable situations, and that's why they don't want to fuck with us. And it's no shade. I've seen it on this app. I've seen it outside of this app. I've seen it. I see it every day here in the streets of Atlanta. Some of the same people who y'all following be one of the messiest girls out here putting these boys' business out, and y'all get excitement off of that. Y'all live for that. But when you got women who are on this app who's about business and give you good content, y'all ignore that shit. And then when you see them starting to rise above, y'all want to come and knock bitches like me down because it's no shade. I just had my news posted for something I did years ago to put myself through college. But bitch, one thing about me, and I'm gonna say it here while 2,448 people here, I'm not ashamed about nothing that I do. But guess who posted? A motherfucking trans woman. And guess who went and shared it? A motherfucking gay boy. So those are the ones who are tearing us down the most. Our own kind, and there's no shade. I'll listen to what everybody else got to say, and then I'm gonna step down because that's why I don't like coming up here. Because you know what I'm saying? I don't want to leave, but I don't like being around, certain type of stuff because you know what I'm saying. I don't be wanting to put myself in those predicaments because you know what I'm saying. Because soon as people get certain a drift of what you got going on, they're gonna take this, even though this is a positive platform, they're gonna take this and they're gonna run with it. But at the end of the day, like I tell my people and people who follow me every day, you gonna fuck with me if you gonna fuck with me. If you don't, bye.
Right. All right now. Candy, I just want to say that no, girl, stay up here. You doing an amazing job, and that I do appreciate you for just being yourself and coming up here, and I know the situation. For me, as me being on television and different things, I get people that try to expose me. I get people use my pictures. I even got people over here now doing different things with Cash App and everything, scamming people with my pictures. And the only messed up thing about it is I have to deal with them type of situations because the person I am in the big platform that I have. And I do appreciate you. I appreciate you for being here, each and last one of y'all. Okay, now number we're gonna go to number three and here come the number one to you, boo.
That goes back to what I said about us coming together. Candy, I really do agree with that because the trans community on this app, the trans community, period, like they don't want to see another trans girl win. Like that is hard for them to see. Like and that is ridiculous. Like we're all grown, we all trans women. Let's come together. That goes back to what I said. United we stand, divided we fall. Look what Candy just said. Come on, we gotta stick together, people. If we don't, this right here is gonna keep happening. She gonna keep having stories like that. Number two gonna have stories like she have. We gotta stick together.
Exactly. She right. Just like today, we have this panel. I tried to invite the other trans girl to it come. performer, just involve them. But no, they want to go make flyers and do this other type of stuff to try to make us look bad. But no, I'm glad everybody's here still, and this is amazing. Number one.
Okay, so the whole thing about blaming blaming trans women for them being attacked is trying to hold them accountable for cis men's insecurities around their sexuality and what they do sexually. So, like, to give a little bit of education, there is a difference between your sexual orientation. There's different from that's different from sexual desire. So, what you do in your bedroom don't make you a man or a woman. How you engage in sex does not make you a man or woman. How you enjoy sex does not make you a man or a woman. As long as you are doing what you were supposed to do for you and your partner or partners, depending on if you're polyamorous or not. We cannot continue to give cis men the scapegoat and out for not taking their responsibility for their community. Cis men need to stand behind black women, and they don't. Cis men need to stand behind trans women that they love or claim to love, and they don't. We need to hold black men accountable for what they are responsible for, and that is their community, and they've been lacking. And we've been giving them passes for way too long. For what? We can't keep blaming our sisters for existing. For what?
Hallelujah. Uh,
Okay, so y'all know I'm blunt as I don't know what. So when people speak about sex worker, that was me. Okay, I was sex worker. And one thing I do understand is that being a sex worker, we didn't have to trick nobody because you have to realize the trans community is fetishized. They want it because it's not something of their norm. So therefore, if a man was to come up to me and he thought I was a cis woman, he wouldn't want me, baby. He wants what's between my legs. So therefore, why would I sit here and lie when I can do that and just be truthful? I used to walk the streets of downtown Atlanta. I'm not going to sit here and lie off of West Peachtree Street all the way to Peachtree Street, and not one trans woman on that road ever lied about who she was, because guess what? That's what brought them the
them,
coin.
them,
So the whole narrative that trans women are sitting here lying is completely false. For a person that has actually worked and counted the names and said the names of people of the
no,
Trans Day of Remembrance in November, all of those cases involved men who could not deal with their truth
that's
after
true.
the black trans woman told them their truth. So the only way that two people can keep a secret if it's one of them is dead. So therefore they went ahead and knocked her off. It wasn't because she wasn't being truthful. It was because she was breathing. So we have to make sure that we correct that narrative, because there's way too many people on this panel right now listening and that are going to be getting the wrong type of information,
Right.
because I was honest and could have been killed. I've been honest with every man that I have ever met. Look, it's not about, it's about being and it's about meeting the right
And
person. It's not, it's about the men. So see, here's the thing is that when we sit here and we say and we blame it on the trans women, what are we doing as trans women to normalize trans women? Because the reason why these men feel the way they do is because to us we're not normal. But if we were normal and people wasn't talking trash about trans women or about them dating trans women, they wouldn't be afraid about what they say about them. We got a whole Twitter
take
page
your back.
designed to out men for messing with other cis women. Are these cis men going and killing the cis women after they don't put their videos and stuff out there? No. But let a trans woman do it. Oh, she got to be gone. We're going to take her out because we haven't normalized it yet. So let's stop sitting here blaming the victim for their own death of them just breathing and being who they are.
Okay. And she hold on, I do agree. Too many hands is clapping and good little here I come, y'all. So we're gonna go from bottom to up now. Okay, yeah, because I've been a sex worker, honey. I've been a sex worker, and I've been in situations where Trey tried to take a penny out of my purse going to the restroom. I done been walking down boulevards that got my chain snatched, purse snatched, knocked, pistol whip, and all these type of things. It like she said, I don't know, but we all been had our own experience.
Okay, so let me clear up what I was saying. Okay, so I'm not saying that all the blame falls on the men. What I'm saying is some of the women, some of the women are actually looking for more than what the men are willing to give. Okay, so when you have women, trans women who are fantasizing over a man who already said it's only business. Now, I'm a recent retired sex worker, no shade, and I will still dibble and dabble if I have to get my motherfucking bills paid. And it's no shade. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. When I do decide to post my ads on arrows, some of the prices that these girls are putting up, I will not. I will never. So yes, I'm gonna have to appear to be as passable as I possibly can, and I'm gonna have to attract some other type of men. Because no shade, you cannot compete against a girl who is charging 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, or $100. Baby, I'm not that type of girl. I'm not that type of girl, and I'm not about to play by that. And especially when you got all these girls here in Atlanta who feel like that's the only way to bring in an income, no, ma'am. So, what I was saying is when you have women who are in that lifestyle and they are taking this information that they have or these pictures that these guys are sending them and they're using it to extort more money. When these guys have already said it's just about business, but they want more. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Some girls are greedy. They're greedy. And they will do anything if they feel like you got a bag. Now let's keep it real and let's be honest since we want to speak on facts and everybody want to get so technical and logical about certain things. No, it do be some of these girls out here and if I was back then, I'll call some of these bitches' name and I'll pull up clips and play them for y'all right now. Going to people's jobs, pulling up at people's jobs, pulling up at people wives' jobs, pulling up at people family doors. Come on. When you mess with these men's livelihood and they already told you it's business, you don't think they're gonna retaliate? And it's no shade. It's not how it used to be years and years ago, where you could go on a stroll and you could get your money and you could go home and you could sleep comfortably and he'll call you up later on and say, I'm gonna come and drop you off some more money. It ain't like that. It's not like that no more. I don't think it's gonna ever get to that anymore. Now I've seen some girls do some real foul things. And it's no shame. I pray for them. I pray to God for them. And instead of us preaching to them so much, I'm preaching to the men so much, we need to start preaching to the girls as well. And I'm gonna sit my black ass on this panel and I'm gonna keep saying it over and over again because you know what? I'm gonna blame it on the old heads because you know what? Some of the old heads ain't teach these girls the right way. If they're gonna be about business, be about business. Don't get your emotions involved. See, I had a good mother. I had a mother who taught me if you gonna lay down, you lay down worth something. And not only my real mother told me that, but my gay mother as well. But no, you got these girls out here who willing to go behind Walmart and suck a dick for $50, and then bitch, when they don't get what they want out of the whole situation, oh baby, I got your number, I got your picture, I'm gonna expose you on all social media platforms. You don't think these men gonna retaliate? You don't think that put them in an uncomfortable situation? They gotta go to explain that to their mothers and everybody else. No, everybody is not. Everybody, yes, we are a fantasy. We get it. Some guys look at us just as a sexual being. We get it. But at the end of the day, it's how you present yourself to them. If you set boundaries and let them know this is not how you're gonna treat me, they're not gonna treat you in that manner at all. And then sometimes you gonna run across some men who just are out here just to prey on girls. It's no shade. It's no win-win situation at all. But you gotta be more protective of yourself. You gotta do it the right way. Everybody way is not going to be the right way. You got to figure out what's going to work for you. But I know one thing that's not working: exposing these men and going to their families and telling people on Facebook and Instagram and using these platforms to humiliate men to get what the hell you want, when you could go out here and get to the bag just like everybody else. All of us up here is getting to the bag to get to the coins. And it's no shade. They could be doing the same damn thing. And then you got some on here who are on here getting to the bag, but they still conducting themselves as such in the streets. And guess what? When men see that and men hear about that and those videos are shared, and as soon as you tell them you're a trans woman, they're going to feel like you're going to do the same thing to them, so they don't trust you no more. They don't want to fuck with you no more. Because they have this whole idea, all of us are the same way. No, we're not the same way. And I express that to them all the time. It's no shade to the host. Before I got up on here, before she started talking to me, I always said, bitch, I'm not going over there. And it's no shade. Because I'm not going to let another woman talk to me any kind of way. I'm not going to do it. I always tell people I will bully the bullies. And that means all the girls with a platform who don't know how to conduct themselves as women. I'm not saying some people do it just for a social media platform and to bring in their followings. I get that. But it's a level to respect. It's no shade. All the big time girls should not have been up on this motherfucking panel. And I had to question myself and say, girl, why you not, why, at first I wasn't going to show up. Then I had to think about it. I had to be like, Candace, if you want change, you got to start with yourself. You got to speak up for yourself. You got to speak out. But you got some girls who feel like they're above certain things like this. And that's what annoys me. And I'm just being honest and I'm being real. Those people, no shade, some of them deserve it. I'm not saying they deserve to die, but they deserve to have a reality check. And there's no shame, and I'm keeping it real, cause you know how I give it up. So number 4, I know you surprised, but some of them deserve a reality check. They deserve a reality check because it's people like number 5. It's people like number 3. It could be people like number 2. It could be people like myself who reap from what they do. Because we're fall under the same category with them once we express to them, hey baby, I am a woman of trans experience. And some of them be like, what's that? They got the terminology because some women who are trans women be using the terminology tranny. A man call me a tranny, I'ma look at him like, bitch, you better get the hell up out my face. I'm a woman. But it's comfortable for them to call us trannies because guess what? We up here, we be here calling each other trannies. They pick up on the behaviors that we display. It's no shade. The terminologies we use, y'all got straight men saying that shit now. They be like, no shade. You know my bop. They pick up on the lingo and everything that we do. So if we're disrespecting each other, they're going to disrespect us as well. But if I refer to you as my sister, if I refer to you as a woman, they're going to pick up on the same thing. I don't like this young man. His name is Sean. I'm going to say his name. But at the end of the day, he referred to us as women. And I can respect that from him. Because that means it's a woman who's in his life of trans experience who have expressed to him that that's not how you refer to me. You refer to me as a woman. And that's how he respects you. And I'm just being honest about the situation. And I don't have anything else to say.
Phone got hot. I'm sorry. All y'all come back. We got like 15 minutes. My phone got hot. Sorry. Hold on, y'all. I'm so
I'm so
sorry.
sorry.
My
My
phone had
phone had
got
got
hot.
hot.
Okay, we
Okay,
can
we can
start
start
back.
back.
Um, I'm 19, so I'm not trying to be insensitive, but why does why do trans women immediately turn to the route of prostitution? That's just my I just always had the question, why is that the first route that we turn to? Maybe I'm not educated on the topic, but I always wanted to know, why is prostitution the first route that a trans person takes?
It's like that because of rejection. I'm gonna make that number one. Rejection from your family and people not gonna give us anything. People that don't support us, they're not gonna give us nothing. So we gotta go with what we know. We gotta go, well, we need this, I need this, how am I gonna get it? Then we turn around to prostitution. That's why so many trans girls prostitute themselves to get the things that they need because they've been rejected. Do that make any sense, number seven? You number seven.
Okay, so I just realized I was unmuted. Let's try not to even say prostitution anymore because we have to realize that it's actually called survival sex work because sex work is actually real work. We also have to remember that survival sex work is the oldest form of business since agriculture. We have to realize this. So before there was a person working at McDonald's, baby, there was a sex worker. Before there was a president, there was a sex worker. Before there was somebody cleaning the streets, there was a sex worker, baby. We ain't going nowhere. Okay, we just understand our worth, and our worth is valuable when it comes to the trans community. We're valuable because we're not what society considers the norm. The day we become the norm, guess what? That's when the value starts to depreciate. It's about supply and demand. It's a whole bunch of cis women walking around sitting here proud of who they are, but it's a small little bit of trans people walking around. So therefore, it's more the supply and demand function. Now, when it comes to how we get into survival sex work, you have to realize that in certain states there's a lot of restrictions as far as how you can change your gender, changing your name, things of that nature. There are jobs out there who will openly discriminate against you because of the fact that they may see this beautiful woman walking up to them, but because of what the state allows, they may not be able to change their birth certificate. They may not be able to change their identification card. They may not be able to change their name. So when they look at you and be like, oh, okay, you're really cute. Well, what's your name? And they look at your ID. Oh, Bernard. Well, wait a minute. Now they got questions. So there are those discrimination laws, but the thing is, how are you going to really prove it? This living in Georgia. Georgia is an at-will state. They can fire you at will. At will. They don't really need an excuse. All they can say is, oh, she had the wrong look for the company, so we're just going to send her on by her way. So, how would you feel if this repeatedly happens to you over and over and over and over again to the point where there's nothing left for you to do but use your body as the resource to make your means? So, I mean, there's many different ways of why people get into it, and there's many reasons why people stay into it. But it's not something that should be frowned upon by any means because, baby, some of y'all mamas do it too. That's how you get here. We got to keep in mind that. So while we sit here trying to knock the trans women for it, that's why your daddy gone.
Okay. Anybody else want to say? Any one of y'all want to say something? Okay, we're gonna go to number six, and then I'm coming to you, number seven.
As far as why people go to sex work first, sometimes sex work isn't the first line you go to. Sometimes people have gone to work in places and then you're being sexually harassed at that place, and the boss is telling you if you don't slob this knob, they're not going to sign your check. And so sometimes it's a matter of, are you going to let a office pimp you, or are you going to be an independent contractor out here in these streets and get your money yourself? And sometimes people supplement their income with sex work. Like, let's be real, the minimum wage in this country is 7.50. You can't really do a lot with that in most places. So sex work, you don't need a lot of supplies. You're mobile, so it's a job, and people need to respect it as such. Like, for real, for real.
Thank you. Okay, number 7.
Yeah, for me, I'm not frowned upon prostitution, but wouldn't you say that a lot of trans women turn to prostitution because they just want the quick cash? Because in today's, I'm just giving my opinion. In today's age, we have so many opportunities for job opportunities for trans people and LGBT people. So I don't think prostitution should be the first route that somebody turns to. And a lot of people turn to it. They don't, to call a spade a spade. A lot of people do not actually go on and look for the resources. They just say, okay, I'm going to be a prostitute because I'm going to get a quick cash by getting a nut. That's just my opinion.
Uh, well, I don't think that's true because, honey, I don't be in this situation. I started prostituting um because I I didn't have nowhere to stay, and no, I wasn't accepted in my family. It wasn't just because of the money. It was because this was a way I could survive. Yeah, it's jobs out there, but they wasn't giving us jobs like they are now, and they still really not giving us jobs because a lot of the trans girls only work for the LGBT centers and their resources and things like that. A lot of us don't have a regular job, and I don't think that's the first way that we choose to go to prostituting. Some of us just fall into it.
Okay, so
Or
I just want to address
I
one
was an
thing.
escort. I was never a prostitute. I was an
Okay,
escort.
so to kind of like educate you, number six actually gave you an example of why these type of things happen. It's societally, trans women are ostracized, they're picked on, they're sexually harassed and not protected. So with all of that going on, would you rather go to a place of employment where people have power over you, or would you like to take full autonomy of yourself? That's why. People want to
Right.
be able to have some kind of control over themselves in a world that's telling you that you're not normal, you don't deserve peace, dignity, respect, or any of those things. You have the world telling you this. It's not just one person. This is not a fucking choice. This is about survival, which is why we use the
Exactly.
language
Survival.
survival sex work.
Like number 2 said, survival sex work, bitch. Because a lot of us had to survive and have sex surviving. I don't, baby, I don't, I, I, I think if it wasn't for Bingo or whatever, the platform, I think if it wasn't for them, I'll still be heavy escorting or arrows and everything, all these type of things. I have stopped escorted, but maybe if I have to dib and dabble, like number 8 said, I will go dib and dabble if I have to. But right now, I don't have to do those things, and I'm so glad that I don't have to live that life anymore. Hold on, let me see.
Let me say this for I'm gonna try to break it down to you a little bit more, Cackle. Um, do y'all realize that a lot of people within the LGBTQ community, especially that are, trans, were kicked out of their families and kicked out of their house before they can even graduate from high school? So there's a lot of people out there who have a level of education that's not at the level of getting a 9 to 5 job. And let's not even think about college. Because somebody also made a comment down there saying, get a trade and all that type of stuff. I went to school for fashion design at Bowder
Me too.
College, and I was discriminated against because I was using the female's restroom. And they made me have to go all the way to my dorm to use the bathroom. And that's why I left school. So let's think about these jobs that are out here right now who are always asking for experience. Where are you going to get that experience? And then they're asking for education. Well, where is the education going to come from if we was already counted out at the age of 10?
Right.
So what is left for us to do?
Ooh. Question. Let me piggyback on the restroom situation. How do you feel about the restroom situation where us transgenders, people complain about the transgenders being in a women's restroom? Or some transgender girls still like to go to the guys' bathroom. How do you feel about the restroom situation? Number two. Hello. You can
Sorry,
hear you.
I just saw the comment of somebody that went to school with me. But
Uh,
okay, so you know how do I feel about the restroom situation. Um, let people piss and shit when they need to, and mind your own business. Look, what happens in my stall with the door shut is none of your concern. I'm just in that bathroom to pee, poop, wash my hands, and walk by you if you do pass by me. Other than that, that's the only reason why I'm in there. So why does it matter?
right.
And plus, on top of that, you don't want me in the bathroom with your husband's baby. Trust me, you don't.
Okay. Number three.
I feel like that trans women are women. Like it shouldn't be no divide. That's it. Trans women are women. Like what else restroom I'm gonna use? Trans women are women.
Number four.
I agree with them. Like I'm gonna go to the bathroom wherever I want to go. So it is what it is. Mind your damn business. If it ain't bothering you, don't even say nothing to me.
Right. Number five.
If you really want me to go in the bathroom with your husband, I go in the bathroom with your husband. No shade.
Number six.
If I go to the bathroom with your wives, mothers, sisters, I will be dead. So that bathroom bill makes no type of sense. And a lot of people think it only affects trans women. Trans does not just mean trans women or trans femmes.
Right.
Trans men, trans masculine, non binary people exist too. And that's one of the things I want to implore on us as we leave this Trans Day of Visibility. Because though
Right.
we have a lot of amazing trans women, like all of us are affected by these things. All of us.
Um, Number seven.
Um, I definitely understand. I get where you guys are coming from, but this is one of the many reasons why I don't share my opinions with people because it just shows in the comment section where people are like, if I say something different from what I
Wait, hold on. Honey, don't worry about the comment section. We all have our different opinion. It's some people I didn't agree with on this panel, and some people didn't agree with me. We just don't listen to the comments, girl. Just gone. We having a good day. I'm enjoying it. Just say what you guys are saying. We're gonna keep on moving on, baby.
one last thing, I'm glad for your assignments, reassignment surgery. Nice.
Thank you.
All right. Uh-huh.
Thank you. Okay. Number eight. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
I had put myself on self mute. I said as far as the bathroom situation, honestly, I never paid attention to that. It really didn't impact me. But number seven, I want you to understand that because it's like a generation gap. You know what I'm saying? Like now you got people, parents are more accepting of, their kids coming out saying they're trans. You got a lot of people who are, more open to it. In comparison to like when I was coming up, and I'm a 90s baby, so it wasn't really normal back then. So, and like Talia, I think she probably no shade. I'm not gonna say it, but mommy is up there. Um,
No,
mommy
but you're
definitely.
right. She's not in the age bracket as that.
Yeah, so it's like I understand where she's coming from because, but so you don't go through what we go through. You know what I'm saying? Like we understand it's an age difference. That's all it is, baby. And no one is here to come at you or make you feel uncomfortable. You ask your questions because at the end of the day, my journey is going to be totally different from everybody else's up here because everybody up here is raised totally different from different cultures, from different dynamics of the whole United States. So, and just how you say you're from Jamaica, you're still young. So, and I'm pretty sure, are you still home with your parents? Because if so, that's a great thing if you are, because that means they're accepting or they're able to tolerate you to a certain level where they can respect you enough so you can still be in their household. So I don't want you to feel like we're just, lighting it to you. But you're gonna have some people in the comments who don't understand it, and by me saying it, maybe that will help them because at the end of the day, it's certain things that I went through that I'm not gonna understand in regards to what Talia went through. And it's no shade. I'm not going to understand the journey number 6 went through because we went through two totally different journeys as far as transitioning and becoming a woman. And mind you, I think I'm the only one up here who went through, transitioning on my own without a doctor. You get what I'm saying? So it all is totally, everybody's journey is totally different. So everybody can learn from everybody on the panel. And that's all it takes is for someone to listen and just grasp what everybody is saying.
Okay. I just want to say that I appreciate everybody in the comments for tuning in and watching us this whole time. I know a lot of you guys want to get up here in the comments, but we're not going to make that possible because this live is not brought to you by me. It's brought to you by Bingo itself. They have picked us wonderful people to do this panel, and shout out to Bingo for letting us have this platform and to hear a voice, to hear different things that you never heard before. I hope we gave you some great topics and something that you never heard before. But these is our last 3 minutes. What I want to do, I do want to go around the panel to each and every one. I want you to give out your pronouns, your your platform, which you do, and can you give advice for the young generation, for the younger people that growing up and they want to transition and they want to be trans and the help they can get. Don't make it so long, make it brief and everything. And the faster we go, the faster we out here. Thank you guys. Number one. Wait, hold on. You muted yourself. You muted yourself.
Okay. Be Live or Bandit. My pronouns are he, him, they, them, and king. I host Let's Talk About It Tuesdays each and every Tuesday at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I also co-host a show every other Saturday with my partner Queen called The Poly Life. Check me out. And also, what advice I would give to any trans child: do your research. Your time will come. Enjoy your journey. Your journey is not going to look like anybody else's, and start building your identity for yourself and not for no one else. Live for you and love you.
All right. So once again, my name is Talia Cassadine. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. Founder of Say No to Silicone Injections. I actually do not have any content that I normally do, like schedule for anything, but I am a makeup artist, which is one of the things I do is makeup on here. But since I am an advocate 24/7, which that means I can answer your questions 24/7. So whenever you see me on the BIGO streets, if there's a question that you want to ask, ask me. If you think that you don't want to ask because it may seem problematic, ask it anyway, because I'm going to answer your question and then I'm going to tell you the right way to word it in the future. So hit me up, y'all. Make sure y'all follow me.
What advice can you give the younger people or the people that want to transition?
Okay, you only have one life to live, y'all. Live it because that's the way you want to live it. Don't live it this life because somebody is expecting for you to do it. At some point in time, you have to overlook the societal norms and know that you are an individual. Know that you are not trying to take the place of anybody else in this world. You're just trying to be the best you, and that's the person that you should strive to be.
Okay. Number three.
Again, you guys, my name is Trans Lives Matter here, but it's just not a name for me because I'm the founder of Trans Lives Matter Shreveport, Louisiana. I wear it every day on my chest. Every day, every time you see me going live, you're gonna see Trans Lives Matter because that's who I am and that's what I do. But the advice I want to give the young youth community is you cannot live your life trying to fit in everybody's fantasy. Let that sink in.
Okay, once again, my name is Kanaya. Um, I will be doing transitioning HIV 101 every Sunday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time for everybody that was in the comment asking me to tell my story. I'm definitely an open book because, like I said earlier, I'm an HIV positive trans woman. My advice that I would give, just be yourself. If you're going to transition, do it for you. Don't do it trying to please the next person. And to the panel, I love y'all for everybody, for everybody for being who they are.
Hello, everyone. My name is Miss Corinne, or you can call me Phoenix, my real name. Uh, I am a trans advocate 24/7. So if you have any questions, please hit me up. I'm in my inbox all the time. So message me, ask me questions. Let's talk. Let's chop it up. If you want to learn more information about LGBTQ issues and something that I would tell a young trans child, living your truth. Like you only got one life to live, and if people are not gonna be happy for you and love you for being you, then they will never love you. So
Hello again, my name is Chris, known on Bigo as El Jefe, pronouns he, him, his. On Sundays, I do bean parties. On Wednesdays, I do my Wordsmith Wednesday. And in April, I'm bringing our Sexual Health Saturdays, but where we discuss different sexual health topics. Uh, and if you need any information around accessing different transition related surgeries, or if you want to share your thoughts or experiences as a trans person, please message me because I do help with like getting people to participate in focus groups and research projects so that we can hear more from trans people of color. There's a lot of white people in research, but we need more trans people of color. So definitely reach out if you're interested in any of that.
What advice would you give to the younger generation?
Sorry. The advice I would give to the younger generation is be patient and hang on. Some days it gets hard, some days it'll feel like, what's the point? But you're not alone. Hang on. You'll find your people. You'll find your people.
Hi, my name is Keckle. My pronouns are he, him. I'm the owner of Chong Agency on here. So if you want to become a host, hit me up. What advice I'd give to people, young people transitioning, I'd tell them to wait, seek a psychiatrist, and really think about it. Because you're a boy and you like dresses and wigs does not make you a girl. It doesn't necessarily make you a girl. And if you're a boy and you like to wear traditionally men clothes, does not make you a guy. So really think hard about it. All right, that's it.
Number 8.
All right. Hi everybody. I'm the co-founder of Fifth Element. I am known as Mother Sweetheart of the Sweetheart Gang here on the app. We're new on the app. I'm new to the app. Um, I go by she, her, ma'am, whatever you want to say, as long as it's she. But I'm just a real upfront type of girl. Like I'm just that hood, hardcore bitch who you gonna come and talk to and we could vibe and we could chill. Some of the content I do is I do my glam time, makeup, hair, laying frontals. I do it for y'all on live all day, every day. Microdermabrasions, all just come over to the Candy Factory and you'll have a good time.
Sorry, I'll be going. Hi everybody. This is Savannah Garcia, the Princess of Bingo. I just wanted to say that first of all, I just want to appreciate the Bingo admins, the Bingo Streets, the Bingo Live USA for their Instagram and reposting, for even reaching out to us individuals to celebrate this day that we have been fighting for, to giving us a safe place to hear our voice, just giving us this day. Because me, everybody know, I probably, these girls on here was probably like, girl, I'm not going to that girl in the panel because they probably see me acting crazy all the time. So I do appreciate you guys for letting me host this panel and letting me show a different side of me. And for the girls that didn't come, we did have fun without you guys. We had fun, and I love you guys. We just can I get we want to have a moment of silence before we leave for the murders that we have in the trans community. Can we get the trans flags, please? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Can't hear
We can't hear.
you.
Y'all season these people first. Send us some bags, blue bags, Birkin bags. Everybody, send us a treasure. Send everybody a treasure, something, because they done gave out their time for you guys, and we done did all this, honey. And if they y'all don't, I'm gonna let me take a picture of all y'all, because I'm gonna come send all y'all a gift. Okay, I'm gonna come send all y'all a shield. Do y'all want to say thank bingo?
Thank you.
Thank you, Vigo.
Thanks so much,
Thank you, Vigo.
Vigo.
I appreciate y'all.
See you guys. I love y'all. Happy Transgender Day.
Stay visible.
Bye.
Love you guys. You want me? You want to go live, Talia? I assign one of y'all.